we see Chuck McGill, Jimmy's older brother, who suffers from a mysterious electromagnetic hypersensitivity. He's wrapped in a space blanket, looking like a human baked potato, as he braves the dangers of the outside world. Specifically a newspaper. Chuck decides to do the unthinkable. He leaves his house, runs across the yard, and snatches a neighbor's newspaper. To us, it's a quick sprint. To Chuck, it's an epic journey through a radioactive wasteland. However, his neighbor sees exactly what it is, a strange man stealing her mail, and she calls the cops. The police arrive at Chuck's house shortly after. When they knock, Chuck refuses to open the door because of the electrical surge it might cause. From the outside, the officers see a house with boarded-up windows, camping lanterns everywhere, and a man screaming about fields. They assume the worst. They think it's a meth lab. Despite Chuck quoting the law at them with perfect precision, the officers lose patience. They kick in the door, and as Chuck recoils from their flashlights and radios, they tase him. Because of his condition, the shock sends him into a catatonic state, and he is rushed to the hospital. While Chuck is being hospitalized, Jimmy is riding high on the fame from his heroic billboard rescue. He's finally getting calls from potential clients, and he thinks he's about to hit the big time. His first meeting is with a man named Ricky Sipes. Ricky lives on a massive ranch and wants to secede from the United States. He offers Jimmy $1 million to handle the legal battle. Jimmy is ecstatic until Ricky hands him the cash. It's $500,000 in Sandia Republic bills, a currency Ricky printed himself with his own face on it. Jimmy realizes he's just wasted a whole day. The next client is even weirder. An inventor named Roland shows Jimmy his idea of a lifetime. It's a potty training toilet for kids that gives positive reinforcement. The problem? The voice chip inside doesn't sound encouraging. It sounds incredibly suggestive and creepy. Roland is convinced it's a goldmine. But Jimmy, horrified, tells him he needs to find a different kind of lawyer, or perhaps a therapist. Desperate and tired, Jimmy visits a sweet elderly woman named Mrs. Strauss. She wants a will drafted, and is obsessed with her collection of Hummel figurines, specifically one called the Alpine Shepherd Boy. Unlike the other crazies, Mrs. Strauss is kind, patient, and, most importantly, she pays in real U.S. currency. After helping her, Jimmy has an epiphany. He realizes that seniors need someone they can trust, and more importantly, they are a stable client base. Kim Wexler later reinforces this, suggesting he specializes in elder law. Jimmy's new career plans are cut short when Kim tells him Chuck has been hospitalized. Jimmy rushes there and finds Chuck in a room full of buzzing machines, which is Chuck's worst nightmare. A doctor, played by Clea Duvall, wants to prove to Jimmy that Chuck's illness is psychosomatic. While Chuck is talking, she surreptitiously flips a switch on the hospital bed's electronic control panel. Chuck doesn't react at all. He has no idea the electricity is on because he can't see it. The doctor recommends Chuck be committed to a psychiatric ward, but Jimmy is torn between protecting his brother's dignity and getting him the help he clearly needs. The tension ramps up when Howard Hamlin shows up at the hospital. Jimmy immediately assumes Howard is there to make sure Chuck stays committed, so HHM doesn't have to pay out Chuck's massive partnership share. Jimmy uses this to his advantage, threatening to have Chuck committed just to see Howard squirm. However, deep down, Jimmy can't do it to his brother. He chooses to take Chuck home, promising to look after him, even though he knows Chuck's mental state is deteriorating. The new Jimmy McGill. To fully lean into his elder law persona, Jimmy goes all out. He buys a suit that looks exactly like the one worn by Matlock, the famous TV lawyer for seniors, and starts visiting nursing homes. He hands out "Need a will? Call McGill" business cards printed on the bottom of Jell-O cups. As the episode winds down, we see Jimmy leaving the courthouse. He runs into Mike Ehrmantraut at the parking booth. Instead of their usual bickering, Jimmy gives Mike one of his new business cards. The scene then shifts to Mike, who is sitting in his car outside a house watching a woman from a distance. It's the first hint we get into Mike's mysterious backstory and the family he's trying to protect.